All right, so we're live and we can start making this video now. So I've been wanting to make this video for a while. This one, as you can see from the title, is about taking prenatals. So the question really is, do you hate taking prenatal vitamins? Do you despise the way they taste? Do they make you feel like you're about to gag, and things like that? So the reason I'm making this video is because, I had asked, similar to my last video, what were some things that you knew you should be doing to increase your fertility, but you were not doing, and so taking prenatal vitamins was one of those things that came up. So hopefully a lot of you can relate to this video, because this is what I'm being told is something that, you despise doing. And I'm sure not all women are taking prenatal vitamins in order to try and conceive. Right. But this is one of the things that women are being told can help them conceive, or that they should take, especially if you're doing IVF. And, if you have time to sort of prepare for conception a little bit more than other people. So, as you know, I just had a baby. Some of you know that. So I was trying to make a video to make like some sort of reveal video, because I haven't really spoken much about my pregnancy. But I did have my baby. And the reason why I didn't make the video is because I thought I still had 2 more weeks, and she came before those 2 weeks were up. So I'm going to have to get my baby. Okay, so you're gonna have to bear with me with this video, but I am going to touch on, why you may hate taking your prenatals. I'm gonna share some of my experience with taking prenatals, and then I'm probably going to show you what you can do otherwise, or let you know basically, whether you have to take the prenatal vitamins or not. So if you can stick around to the end of this video, you're definitely going to find something of value in this video. So, hold on. Once I get her on here, I'm going to start talking about, what prenatal vitamins are and why you're being told to take it, right? Because you don't want to take something, and some women are probably out there taking prenatal vitamins and don't really know why they're taking it. Prenatals are usually associated with already being pregnant. So usually women don't take prenatal vitamins until they've already conceived, and usually their midwife or their doctor tells them that you should be taking prenatals. However, for women that are trying to conceive, it's not unlikely that you will be told that you can take prenatal vitamins before you actually conceive. And the reason is because, they want you to be able to stock up on these vitamins, minerals, and nutrients, so that way you have this storehouse of, nutrition in your body already before you conceive, which you should be trying to do that, already, right? But again, the vitamins, are supposed to make sure that you have all these and everything else. However, there has been a study that shows that out of 32,000 women, and I think this study was done in Denmark, I'll post the link, but out of 32,000 women, 32%, so a third of these women were shown to be more likely to experience miscarriage if they were taking the prenatal vitamins 6 weeks before conception. If they were taking it within the 3 to 4 weeks before conception, there was a 23% chance of miscarriage, right? But if they were taking it 6 weeks before miscarriage, before pregnancy, before conceiving, they were shown to be more likely to miscarry. So that's something that should make you be like, ooh, why are we being told to take these vitamins if there's been this study? And I think it was posted in the Journal of Epidemiology or something like that. But I can post a link and you can go look that up, right? So if you're thinking, I hate taking these prenatal vitamins, my doctor's telling me to take them, or my midwife, or the IVF clinic, whoever is telling you to take these vitamins, your body might sort of be helping you in the right direction a little bit, just intuition, just some divine interception or something like that. But there has been this study to show that this was the case. Okay, and this was known back in 2014, right? And back then, like, let's be honest, the prenatal vitamins were gross. They were horrendous. There wasn't a lot of options. It was just, at least the one that I took, it was like a pill, like about that big. They called it, I don't know, they call it a horse pill. Let's just call it that, right? And so you take this pill, it tastes awful. And, I'll tell you my experience a little bit. When I was taking this pill, I was taking it, after I had already conceived. My midwife gave it to me, or she told me to take it. It was like $30. And I think there was like a 30-day supply of pills inside of there or whatever. But like I noticed very early on, like maybe like the first 2 weeks, that if I did not take this pill at the same time every single day, I would start to get a headache, right? So I was like, this is strange. If I don't take this pill at like, say, 1 o'clock on the dot every single day, I'm getting a headache. So, that gave me the intuition that, I need to stop taking this pill, because there's no way that I'm going to now become addicted to this pill. I felt like I was really addicted, but I felt like my body was being, programmed to have to take this pill and to need to take this pill if I wanted to feel okay. And I was like, that's a damn drug. That's something that I don't need. That's more than a prenatal vitamin. Because if I don't eat a banana, for potassium at the same time every day, I'm not going to start feeling like, my body is crashing or that I'm having a headache or anything. So long story short, I quit taking the prenatal vitamin. But what I did, and this was like, before they had all the options that they do have now, is that I did start taking a powdered form of supplements that I was able to find at an Indian grocery store, right? And it just so happened to be vegan, right? And, there were not a lot of options, even if you went to the health, but I was able to find that, right? So, you're not wrong for not wanting to take the prenatal vitamins, whether they're making you feel addicted to it or making you feel like you can't, like you have to take this thing, or whether they're causing you to have like a gag reflex, or they're hard to swallow, or the taste just lingers in your mouth, right? It's not natural. It's not natural necessarily to be taking a pill that tastes like, something that really shouldn't be going in your mouth. But, that combined with the study, that's like two things, in your favor why you probably don't need to be taking this pill. One, again, women have been shown to miscarry more. Two is that, you may be having an adverse physical reaction to the pill, right? So, Another thing is that with these prenatal vitamins, they don't just want you to take these prenatal vitamins while you're pregnant or before you're pregnant. They actually want you to take these prenatal vitamins up until at least the first year of the baby being born. So that way you can get the vitamins and minerals while you're pregnant and after you're pregnant, and you're, more than likely breastfeeding and nursing. So that way you get these vitamins and the baby gets the vitamins and minerals and stuff like that, right? But again, it's not a natural form of, nutrition. Some of these vitamins and minerals, your body just may not be absorbing them, even though you're taking them. Some of them may actually prevent your body from absorbing the vitamins and minerals from the food. And that's, again, because sometimes, these vitamins and minerals in these prenatals may be synthetic. And, your body is just blocking the receptors that exist in your body that would normally be getting these from your food supply. Now, onto the food supply. it really sucks that, again, our food supply is lacking in the vitamins and minerals that we should be eating. And I think that's like a really, like, that's really bad, because it just shows that, like, as a culture, as a society, I don't know if I subscribe to all of that, but, like, why would you want to be part of a culture and a society that doesn't even want to ensure that you, as a pre-pregnant, let's say, or, like, seeking to conceive woman, or, like, you need people to survive, right? So why isn't the food supply, why isn't it ensured that the type of diet that we are being told to eat, or that is being suggested to us, why isn't it ensured that these diets are going to make sure that we're getting the right amount of minerals and vitamins that we need? So to me, it's by design that we are lacking in these vitamins and minerals, that the food is lacking in these vitamins and minerals. So that way we can sort of rely on these supplements, so-called supplements, these so-called prenatals and vitamins and minerals that, aren't even necessarily working and are actually kind of doing the opposite. How is this a prenatal vitamin if it's causing miscarriage, right? That's a little suspect to me, right? But that's what's available. So, you sort of have to really look at your diet, and you have to really sort of fine tune your diet and make sure that you are getting the proper vitamins and minerals that you need from your diet. What I used to do is I don't necessarily suggest anybody necessarily do all this, but what I used to do is I used to have on my fridge, I used to have, I wrote out a list of all the vitamins and minerals that you needed, that a woman needed when I was pregnant, when I was not pregnant, and when I was nursing. So I would have like a chart on my fridge of, how much calcium I needed, whether I'm pregnant, not pregnant, or nursing, how much magnesium, how much vitamin A, vitamin E, and I would just the list. And as I learned more, I just created on the list. So it's like before I went to go and cook something, I would be like, okay, I need this much calcium, and there's this much calcium in chickpeas, or there's this much calcium in lentils, or there's this much calcium in whatever I would eat. And so that's how I would sort of create my meals for the day. And like I got it to the point where I was really just able to just look at the list and sort of cook, or I had some things already memorized, right? But in a way, that's sort of kind of what it takes. It's like you have to really know where you're getting your nutrient supply from, right? And so you can't just leave this stuff off to taking a pill. You can't just rely on a pill to provide your body with the vitamins and minerals that you need, because again, it's not fresh. You don't really know what's in the pill. It may be blocking your absorption of actual vitamins and minerals that you do need. And the only real way to ensure that you're getting this stuff is to know what you're eating, right? So, definitely, I think that there needs to be like a whole new food pyramid or food chart or whatever. But at the same time, you also need to know what's good for you, what your body, how your body deals with the foods that you consume, because you can kind of tell too, like, whether the food is making you feel better, whether it's making you feel replenished, energized, whether it's giving your body the vitamins and minerals that it needs, versus whether you feel like the food that you're eating is robbing you and taking stuff out of your body and leaving you more tired and weaker. So that's also something that you can look at when you're taking your prenatals. How do they really make you feel? Do they really make you feel like you're being revitalized and refreshed? If not, you probably need to ditch them, right? So just another reason why you don't have to like feel bad about not taking your prenatal vitamins or anything like that, because again, we weren't necessarily raised in a society that teaches us how to eat well, how to eat good, especially for fertility. From my perspective, culture and societies, they should be based off fertility like they used to be. They tell us all these tales about ancient civilizations and how they worshipped fertility gods and things like that. But that was that, like, you sort of had to do that stuff to sort of keep it in your mind, like remind yourself why you're here and how you're going to remain to be here. And if it was not for acknowledging fertility and the fertility that needs to be inside of the food that you're eating, inside the earth that you're planting the seeds in, and inside of, you know, the man and woman, then you're not going to have a society any longer. You know, so as much as, you know, we want to, you know, just call these societies and things backwards and whatever, they at least had something right. You know, they made sure that they were eating healthy. They made sure that the woman got the food that she needed. And they didn't need vitamins and supplements back then, right? But here we are needing these Jetson pills that nobody really wants to take, and that, you know, is doing the opposite of what it's intended for. So the other thing about these prenatals now is that, you know, you don't necessarily have to take them anymore. At least if you want to take something to supplement your diet, you don't necessarily have to take these, the prenatals that they're giving to you or that you're being suggested. There's so many more variety of prenatals out there that, you know, if the reason why you don't want to take your prenatals is because, you know, the pill is hard to swallow, or because it tastes bad, it leaves its taste in your mouth, especially if you're struggling with swallowing it. You know, the longer the pill stays in your mouth, the longer it starts dissolving and just builds up that like thick, powdery layer in your throat. So it's like it just gets worse and worse, you know, the more you struggle taking the pill. But so now they have variety. So I just want to let you know what some other things are out there if you are still interested in taking some. I'm not going to mention any brands or anything like that. I just want you to know, like, hey, you know, there's other options if you really do still want to sort of get some sort of supplements in your system, in your diet. So they have, I'm sure you all know by now, they have chewables. I hope you know by now, but there are chewable prenatal vitamins, right? There's also shakeable or drinkable prenatal beverages, or powders that you add to water or add to your beverage, right? And so with these now, it does take a little more preparation than just popping a pill. You know, you have to, you know, measure it out, and you have to pour it in your cup, and you have to stir it, and you have to drink it, right? So that can take some time. So if time is an issue for you, that might be an issue. But, you know, it might work out better for you depending on your situation and your circumstance. I know I like taking a powdered form of supplement better than I would any sort of prepackaged multivitamin pill out there, because I don't necessarily trust what's out there, and I just like, you know, being able to formulate my own supplements. That being said, I don't take any supplements that are already prepackaged. I make my own herbs. But, you know, for your convenience, there are definitely brands out there and supplements out there that are already, you know, powdered, and you just got to add them to your drink, right? So they also have prenatal chocolates. So if you like chocolate, if you sort of want something to sort of take your mind off the fact that you're actually taking a prenatal vitamin, there are prenatal chocolates out there. So you can, you know, you can look for that. There's also prenatal nutrition bars. So sort of like granola bars. But, you know, these have all the vitamins and everything mixed into the bar. And, you know, you pretty much can eat that. So you could look at it like a snack. You could take that. If you're not into the pills. And then the other things, let's see, they do have smaller pills now. So the pills are not necessarily the size of your thumb, right? So they have smaller pills that you could take. And then they also have gel caps. So if you wanted to take gel caps, they have that as well. So those are a few alternatives. You know, if you're like, you don't want to take the pill, but you still want to have something and get something in your body that you can take, you can do that. But what I really, really really recommend, or what I would suggest, what I take is herbal supplements. So I don't mess with all of these chemicals and synthetic, because a lot of times those prenatal vitamins, a lot of times it's a lot of synthetics. I don't mess with any of them. I take herbs. So herbs have a lot of nutritional qualities and properties to them, a lot of healing properties, good for so many things. Some of them can take the place of hormones, or they can trigger the same reaction in your body as hormones, that can help you to ovulate, that can help you to menstruate, that can help you to your hormones to balance. Okay, that can help to stimulate follicles, stimulate anything pretty much fertility wise. The herbs can pretty much can take the place of. Now, of course, they're going to be like a milder form, right? But like, to me, the herbs are way better because, for one, the taste is better. Sometimes it's better, right? Because sometimes these herbs taste terrible, but you can sweeten it if you like. But like, I like being able to taste my herbs, because like, that's how it's like a connection to what you're putting in your body. It's a connection to the food that you develop, and lets you know it's fresh, lets you know it's real. Starts activating enzymes in your body the minute you put it in your mouth, as opposed to these other things that are automatically causing you to gag. That's like, your body's already rejecting the pills. Your body's already rejecting, the prenatal supplements out there. But when you're taking the herbs, it's sort of like, a lot of the times your body's like welcoming it and accepting it. And so you're more inclined to, continue to take it. I would show you what I'm taking now, but I have the baby in my hand and I don't want to leave the screen blank again. Thank you, Brittany. So yes, definitely the herbs, you build a better connection with your nerves, your nervous systems connected to your brain, just lets you know, hey, this is good, this is real, right? And then, it helps to develop like a sort of, like, this is going to sound a little cuckoo, but when you're actually taking the herbs, it helps you to develop like a sort of sense. So when like you go out in nature, like you can sort of like, it's weird, but like you can sort of detect where the actual herb is out there in nature, and so you will be able to find it. But don't take my word for it and go start looking for any like strange herbs out in the wild. But I feel like when I take the herbs, that I'm sort of more likely to be able to find it when I go outside and walk, because like I do live in like a what can I say, forested type mountainous area. And so a lot of times it's like I'll find herbs and like I'll just be drawn to the herb, and I'll be like, I feel like I know what this herb is. And then like I might come home and I might like use my phone and use an app where you could take a picture of the herb and it will tell you what the herb is. And sometimes it'll come back and it'll be like, oh, this is such and such, or this is such and such. And I'll be like, oh, that's the herb I'm using all the time. I think one example is basil, like Tulsi basil. I've ordered Tulsi basil online. It's supposed to be good for like brain function and helping to reduce stress and things like that. So anyways, I was like up the hill and I was just taking pictures and we found there was like a bush, and it was like, it smelled really, really good, but it smelled like basil. And like the basil that I'm used to out here grows like on tall stalks, and didn't look like that basil. So I didn't, I was like, it smells like basil, but it doesn't look like basil. But anyway, so we brought it back and like took pictures of it, whatever, on the app. And then it came back that it was like, I think it was Tulsi basil or one of the Krishna basil or something like that, or some type of basil. So, long story short, whatever. But don't use that as your method of detecting the herbs. I just want to put that out there to say, hey, you build a greater connection with the herbs you're putting in your body, right? So you're not just taking chalk, because that's what a lot of these prenatal vitamins taste like, right? So if it tastes like chalk, let me know. Is that one of the reasons why you don't want to take it? Right? Brittany says, I agree. I love smelling the herbs. with an internal snort sort of when I fast on them, then step outdoors. Such a fresh, natural essence. But yeah, so definitely, it's like you wanna you wanna know that the food that you're putting in your body is gonna do what it's supposed to do. So if you can't even taste it, if you can't even how do you know that if it says that this is vitamin C, that you're getting vitamin C if it doesn't taste like um, some type of citrus, flavor. Those pills that they're giving you, they don't taste citrus anything. They just taste like chalk, and chalk is pretty, dead. So it's like you don't want to be taking a dead supplement when you could be taking live herbs or fresher herbs. And at least with the herbs, even in powdered form, they're still good. You can reconstitute them by adding them to liquid, and then you can also take tinctures, which is another way to get vitamins and minerals into your body. Actually, I think it works better with one than the other because depending on what your tincture is made out of, so whether it's made out of alcohol, it might do better at extracting minerals. And then I think when your tincture is made in like apple cider vinegar or something, it might extract the vitamins better. Um, don't quote me on that, but there is that exists. So depending on how you're taking your tinctured herb, you can be getting more vitamins out of your herb than whether you're taking it with an alcohol or a vinegar, and then you also have a glycerin. So you can also look into that if you're wanting to take tinctured form of herbs. And then aside from that, like I was mentioning to you before, the different variations of prenatal vitamins, they also have um, liquid prenatal vitamins. So if you didn't want to do the herbs, maybe your IVF doctor or somebody is telling you to not do herbs, you can still take the liquid prenatal vitamins. Right now, on that, I want to mention that a reason why your doctor might like tell you, or your doctor or nurse or whatever might tell you that they don't want you to take herbs, is because they don't know about the herbs, right? So if you know, for example, that you want to take a certain herb, you literally have to educate yourself, and you have to sort of educate them on why this herb may be good and beneficial for you to take, even though you're doing this procedure, right? Now, I don't necessarily I don't necessarily promote people taking IVF or going the art route. So, it is what it is, but that's one reason why they might tell you to avoid the herbs. Now I say, the herbs is they're here for us. So if you know what your unique situation is, especially if you've already gotten a diagnosis, you know really working with the herbs is oftentimes a lot better than forcing your body through IVF and through the drugs that they give you. It's really better to take the time to work with the herbs than it is to again go and force your body into hyper ovarian stimulation, that can leave you wind up in the hospital, you know and not necessarily give you the outcome that you wanted, right? Whereas if you take you are getting the nutrition from it. It's helping to work with your hormones. Okay, a lot of times the herbs are helping you to reduce stress. The herbs can also again help regulate your cycle. The herbs a lot of times have a lot of benefits to them, and they don't need to necessarily be cleansed out of your system, like you do have to do a lot of times with these IVF drugs. I hear so many times of women that are taking these IVF drugs that they can't even do another cycle anymore because they've just been injecting their body with these drugs. And, it hurts. It hurts, and you feel pumped up. You feel like you got the drugs in your system. You got to get them out. Right. So, I'm sure if you don't like taking prenatal vitamins, you're probably not going to be liking to take needles, right? Either. So an alternative, again, like I mentioned, is to find the herbs that are good for you, and again, start trying the herbs. Again, you want to make sure that they're safe. You want to make sure that they're not going to, have like an opposite effect of what you're actually seeking to take the herbs for. And then, a lot of times as well, you also you will notice the benefit or the results that the herbs are affecting on your body, or like the effect that they have on you, because you'll either start to notice that your menstrual cycle is regulating, that you'll feel like your stress is releasing from your body, or toxins are releasing from your body. You'll actually be able to feel the results, right? And then you can tailor, a lot of times as well, you can tailor your dosage of the herbs based on your needs, right? So, if you feel like you need a little more maca, you can take a little more maca, because maca is pretty much a food, right? And so you're not as likely to overdose on a food than as you would probably, a drug, right? That you probably should be putting in your body anyway. So long story short, you don't have to worry about not taking your prenatal vitamins, about hating the way that they taste, how they make you feel, and the pressure that you may have to not have taken your prenatals because of the reasons, that I just mentioned. Because that's real too, is that, if you feel like that you should be taking this prenatal vitamin, but you're not taking it because of how it makes you feel, that can add to the layer of stress, right? And we're doing that. Now you also have to deal with the stress that can also be preventing you from conceiving, right? So what I'm saying is, you don't have to worry about not taking a prenatal vitamin. There are other things you can do. You can, again, improve your diet. Or you can, again, just relax, knowing that, hey, a lot of times in this study, it showed that a third of the women actually experienced miscarriage because they took prenatal vitamins in the 6 weeks before they conceived. So with that said, definitely rest assured that the prenatal vitamins are not a if all and all be all. You have options, and then you also, can choose to simply forego all that. I also wanted to mention is that I used to think that I had to take prenatal vitamins. I was under the impression that if I did not take prenatal vitamins, especially while I was pregnant, that something was going to be wrong with my baby. I thought that, we had to take these prenatal vitamins. I thought all women took prenatal vitamins. I thought our food system was just so bad, and that we were so in the dumps that if I didn't take this prenatal vitamin, I wasn't going to have a baby properly. Like something was going to go wrong. But I know, like I was living with someone else at the time, and she was pregnant, and she was not taking prenatal vitamins. And I was over here looking at her like, wait a second. So you have all these children and you have not taken any prenatal vitamins, and your children come out fine. And I'm over here suffering with headaches because I don't take this prenatal vitamin at 2:00 every day. So I said, okay, I'm going to try what she's doing. And I stopped. That was another reason why I stopped, is because I was like, she has children that look fine to me and she's not taking them. So I stopped taking the prenatal vitamins. And mind you, she was an older woman. So, you would think she would have needed them more. So anyways, I stopped taking the prenatal vitamins, and I haven't taken them since. And my children have all been fine, right? And I've taken herbs with all of my babies. I've taken herbs that say you shouldn't even take while you're pregnant. And that's another thing that they will do, is they will tell you that there's a lot of, when it comes to herbs, they'll tell you that, you shouldn't take this herb, or you shouldn't take that herb while you're pregnant. A lot of times, depending on what sites you're on, or what company or what brands you're reading this information from, a lot of times they will tell you this because, one, for legality purposes, it's not covered by their insurance, or their insurance company might tell them they have to stop it, or it's okay, y'all can let them pray. Just hurry. But yeah, so they might tell you because of legality purposes. They might tell you because they don't know. And then another reason they might say this is because, they don't know what you're going to do. They don't know how much you're going to take or what you're going to, what the effect is going to be on your body. So just because they say you don't have to, these herbs are not good for pregnancy and so forth, does not necessarily mean that you cannot take them. There are some herbs out there, like they'll tell you not to take cinnamon, they'll tell you not to use ginger, not to use turmeric. So, you know, it gets really ridiculous depending on what site you're looking at, right? So yeah, so you don't have to feel bad about taking these multivitamins. If this has been something that you're struggling with, and if any of this information is helping you to, you know, hey, rethink your fertility strategy when it comes to prenatals, I definitely want to hear about it. Definitely let me know in the comments, you know, whether this sort of takes some of the stress off or the pressure off to have to be taking these prenatal vitamins when you don't necessarily have to. When these people know since 2014 that these prenatal vitamins is out here causing miscarriages, and they're still telling people to take them. Now, I can say probably, I don't know, maybe they've changed their formulas, you know, maybe now that there's a lot more prenatal vitamins out there, maybe they don't have the same negative effects as in that study, but a third of 32,000 people is a lot. Okay, that's a lot of miscarriages, right? And I think that more people should know about this, which is why I'm going to post a link as soon as I'm done this video. And I could probably, like, I wonder if I can screen share. I don't know if I can screen share because I'm using this app, but let me try and I'm gonna try and pull up the link while I'm making this video, so that way for those of you here right now, you can get the link. Let's see. I have to go to my Google Docs. But yeah. So, have you taken prenatal vitamins before? How did they make you feel, right? Did they also make you feel like you were going to gag and do all these weird stuff? Did they give you headaches? Because that's really what did it for me. It really was the headaches. It really was the headaches for me at the same time every day. And that just, you know, that was like an eye opener. It was like, no, you can't keep doing this. All right. Yeah, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to post a link on my, I'm going to post a link in my Facebook, on my Facebook fan page, on my Facebook like page. So yeah. So hopefully you can see the link that I just posted. I don't know where it's going because I'm using this software that lets me post to multiple pages at one time. So I don't know where that link is going to go. And then what I can do is I can post this other link that has options that you can take, alternatives that you can take about these supplements. So that's that. Super informative, tapping out. Thanks for sharing. It was much easier for me to absorb herbs. I feel more so than the pills that take a while to break down. All right, Brittany, thank you for tuning in, right? So I think I'm going to end this here as well. So that is that. You know, hey, there's other things you can do to increase your fertility. You don't just have to take pills. I do have a free top 5 natural fertility tips PDF guide that you can check out, so that way you can that it will help you to, you know, get the essentials and the basics of what helps to increase your fertility naturally, so that way you do not have to rely on these supplements, and you can know what other options you have. I'm going to post that in the link as well. So if you go to natasiawinter.com/free fertility resources, you will see all my free resources that I have to help you to conceive naturally. And if you just want the guide on how to the top 5 natural fertility tips, if you go to natasiawinter.com/natural fertility tips, that will take you there directly to the PDF. So thank you all for watching. My baby is sleeping, so I'll probably have to introduce you all to her on a whole another day. But that is that. So if you hate taking prenatal vitamins, don't worry about it. You've got options, and I hope that this helps. All right. So bye-bye.